The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Now broadcasting from the Right to Offend Media Studios in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, art, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report Live with Sam Whitfield.
But giving offense is good. In fact, it's essential.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Monday edition of the Whitfield Report. And, I don't know about y'all, but it's been kind of a bit of a crazy past couple of days, to put it lightly, even since we last talked. But Max is here joining me for the Monday show, which rarely happens, but I appreciate you joining me, brother.
I thought I got thrown out of this joint or something. It's been a while.
Yeah, no, well,
I wish it was under more joyous circumstances. Although it has been a strange week. I'll grant you that, sir.
yeah, and we were just kind of cracking jokes a little bit before off air, so I guess we're, to be honest, like, here's the thing, I guess I'm not ready, like, to fully, like, return to form. It's been a whirlwind of emotions for me, as I'm sure has just you and everyone else. The last time we talked, like, literally, the shit had literally just hit the fan. And like, I still have not uploaded the audio episode to Spotify for that one. I will probably tonight. But yeah, man, it's just been kind of a wild past couple days. How have you been holding up, I guess, is my question.
Certainly, there's been a lot of people able to sort of voice their thoughts, and the vigils all weekend worldwide was wild to see.
Yeah.
It turns out we our side, we don't riot, we pray. And
Yeah.
as much as they make fun of praying, by the way, when they say, oh, thoughts and prayers, and they're always mocking of it, you notice it's the consistent strategy, though, is we don't burn down the city, and we don't steal a bunch of sneakers, and we don't beat people up who are wearing a hat. We pray.
Yeah, but Max, what about January 6th? Because that whole tired meme has come up again, like, right?
Well,
which
they're
yeah.
barking up the wrong tree on this here show because we defended them guys from day one.
Yeah.
So what about it? What about it? They didn't shoot anybody in the chest when they were sitting trying to talk, did they? No, actually, the only person that did that on January 6th, shoot somebody, was one of the Capitol officers to Ashley Babbitt.
Right. Yeah.
You want to compare the J6 thing to fucking Charlie Kirk? It's not even close.
Well, no, it's not. But
they can say it is all they want, but you know what I've noticed? The biggest thing of all I've noticed when people say things are strange is that I think what people are noticing is that normal people see through their bullshit about it.
Well, you want to know what's I don't know whether to call it like a glass half full moment, because it's truly it truly is despicable, but like all these demonic psychos who are going out there like on Instagram and TikTok like laughing about literally laughing. It used to be it used to be a meme that people make fun of Alex Jones for calling the left like demonic psychos. And I think now more than ever, like normies are waking up to the fact that like
You can't just lie to people's faces and expect them to believe it forever.
no.
You're more than welcome to interject whenever you would like.
Yes,
I know,
yes,
like,
please.
first, I'd like to say it's been a tough week for you, and you've gone
Yeah.
through a lot of emotions with it, and I'm proud that you do want to say something at all, because I know she's been a little nervous and stuff, and as we all have, because
Yeah.
like I said to Sam before the show, it's because he was a regular guy. He wasn't a politician, and to normal people, that's a very scary proposition. So I just want.
Yeah.
I I stayed off social media pretty much 4 days. I just the last straw for me was that we were on the show. I was sitting right here, and my cousin had posted about what happened, and I was very thankful to read what she had said. And scrolling, and the only thing that I've ever seen of his assassination, which I praise, the only thing I see was just like a still shot of after he got hit, and
that's enough. Because,
and I was like, that's enough internet for me today.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
that's why he was like, oh, she just saw it. Yeah, I haven't seen the video. I did, unfortunately, however, see the video of the young woman that was murdered on, it was a bus, right?
it's either
Yeah.
a bus or a subway.
Yeah, bus or subway. Yeah, I didn't even know. I didn't know she died.
I
And
actually had the misfortune of
Yeah.
informing her of that as well.
And I started
Yeah.
crying because I was like, oh my God, I watched a woman get murdered. I didn't know he stabbed her. But then also I was just like, why the fuck did no one go to her? No one. I would have been like wrapping my arms around her, making sure she's okay, calling 911, like someone get that guy. What the hell? But
That's the thing I think shocks most people. Sorry to interject, but yeah.
no, it's very shocking. Like there are people that are making like pictures and stuff like that, and I've seen a couple that have made me tear up. And I know some people might not appreciate them, but I sort of do, where it's Charlie hugging her.
Sure.
Some of them have them with wings and stuff, or him just kind of, and it's like, yeah,
That's the way people grieve, just normally.
because that's what he would do. Charlie would be like, come with me, we're going together.
That's a normal way people grieve, though. They do that all the time. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I know, but some people will say it's like tasteless or whatever, and I think it's quite beautiful. But I stayed off. I didn't even go back on. The only thing I was doing was talking to Penn, but I was like not on the Instagram part. I was like, nope, not looking, because I had already seen comments, and I'd already unfortunately, someone that I follow, the Something Hillbillies, but they're just fed up on Instagram. And I don't know if it was something that someone sent to him, like a personal text to him, or someone sent them the screenshot. But it was just someone being horrible and nasty and like, fuck you, fuck Charlie Kirk, he deserved it, fuck your kids, I hope your kids get killed. And then a video of a close-up of when Charlie got shot. Now, luckily, it was just a screenshot for us, but I was like, yeah, I can't be on and look at this. I can't.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I said this that night. It's not good for people's mental health.
No, this was a video that I truly believe I was interested in. That was that young woman on the bus or subway. That's the video that I needed to see. You haven't seen that one. You unfortunately saw the assassination. I think that's the one you needed to see. We saw what we needed to see.
Well, and that's, you watched the Sam Hyde show. I want to
Yes.
highly recommend, if you haven't watched the Sam Hyde show, This Is You.
You should.
It starts real simple with a picture of Charlie Kirk and says, "This is you." And then a picture of that young woman who was killed and says, "This is your sister, your daughter, your wife." And another picture of Charlie Kirk, "This is you." And a picture of his wife, "This is your sister, your daughter, your wife." You're getting the picture, back and forth, because it is all of us. The attack was on all of us, both of them, and the attack on that church last week.
And that's what kind of spills into this is I'm glad I waited. I did not go on social media, like true social media, until Sunday. And I'm glad I did. Because that is when I saw, oh my God, the amount of people that are, going back to church for the first time in 2 years, or going to church for the very first time. And like, I'm going to go up to the priest, the pastor, whatever, and say, Charlie brought me here. The amount of people coming out and like, just like, I've actually, like, I usually have a very short attention span. ADHD is very strong with me. I sat through a 3-minute long prayer that one guy put up on TikTok, and I was just like, yeah, I need to listen to this. I just need to. People are coming together.
Shout out to Tom McDonald's song,
Yes,
Charlie. Shout out
that
also
made me cry.
to Mises' song that came out. Just like a lot of people creating a lot of amazing art, honoring him or talking about it, and that's cool.
But the main point, the important thing to this is that I've been seeing a lot of people that are posting, they either want to come back to God and don't know how, or they want to come to God for the first time and they don't know how. And so many videos I've seen like that, and
Your dad was a specialist in that,
Yes.
so you got advice.
So I have commented a few times on some people's videos, ones that like I kind of felt like, yeah, this person needs it. And it's the advice that my dad always gave me whenever I was questioning my faith, questioning anything, mad at God and being like, oh, why would you want like to hear from me again? My dad said, it's as simple as praying, hey God, it's me. He's listening. You tell him what's in your heart. You tell him how you feel. You tell, say that you ask for forgiveness for the fact that you like strayed from him, or it took you so long to find him, whatever you feel in your heart, and that you want to get to know him better, and God's gonna welcome you with open arms.
And he was big on, you don't need an intermediary, essentially, which is why he and I disagreed a lot, and we love to debate the Bible and stuff, because he was raised Catholic, I was raised Catholic. I find more value in Catholicism than he did, but we respected the hell out of each other for that. But one of the things he would criticize it for is, I don't need a church, I don't need a priest, I don't need a bishop, I don't need a pope, I need my Bible, my heart, and that's it.
Funny because that's what.
And then she immediately gets his Bible, the famous, Bob's Bible.
Yeah, I actually.
She was
reading some of it today.
She was like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah.
That's interesting. So people have been asking me, I'm still trying to figure this out and learn this. I do not know. How do you read the Bible? Do you just go like a book front to back and read it? Like, do you, because I struggled with that too. And I always did the same thing. I always read it like a book, start from the beginning. And then today, I forget, I was actually talking about like, like one thing that like you like don't hear in Catholicism, but you would hear like from Protestants or whatever, like other parts of Christianity there are, of like, well, God doesn't make mistakes.
Right.
And so then we started talking about that, and you mentioned Genesis.
I said, what I said was, Catholics generally don't believe that that God doesn't make mistakes, quote unquote, because there's a few that he is specifically corrected. If you believe in Jesus, then is that not correcting the mistake of not giving us salvation?
Like, even like my
God,
example that
you
I
could
like
say
to
God
use
changed
is,
his mind, but that still indicates that at some point he had a difference of opinion with himself.
And that's my point. Like, my example of that, because my dad would say that, and I was always like, pretty sure that like in the Bible he kind of admits like, "Whoops, my bad," the flood, and then he was like, "Hey,
It's not so much
like I went too far. Here's the rainbow. Like we're not, and
from
boom, New Testament."
from an Old Testament perspective. It's not so much mistakes as it is unforeseen consequences.
Yeah,
Even with God, like God gave them free will, but never in a million years did he expect the bitch to listen to the snake.
and so that's the thing. I just like, no one saw my glasses.
That's not a mistake. That's
You mentioned Genesis, and I was like, you know what? I was like, oh my God, that's like at the front of the Bible.
yeah.
Yeah, because that's, where the whole Garden of Eden happened. Little embarrassed by that one. And I was like, I'm just going to flip through. I'm not going to start. I'm going to go. And I actually went to the part where it's, Adam and Eve are there. And, God's like, yeah, cool. You got everything. Just this one tree. You don't fucking touch it because you're going to die. And I was like, wait. He told them they would die and the bitch still ate the fruit?
Well, yeah, because the serpent says, nah.
And then I'm going to do that.
Adam, your turn.
And then I looked at him and I went, I didn't get that far. I've never read all that before, like not like really. And yeah, I get what y'all mean by women. Yeah.
Well, and then she got to reading the part because I was like, well, hold on.
Keep going.
You got to keep going because how did that turn out for them, right? And she's like, oh my God, what's this about the head and the heels?
I was like, wait, yeah, actually, do you mind if I read that?
No, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Sam. Fine. You don't mind,
Sam.
do you, Sam?
No, not at all.
Cool, thank you. Okay, hold on. I've been trying to put this on for like what? A minute now?
Well, the point was she hadn't come across the idea that the pain of rearing children in childbirth is the curse of the wage of sin.
Because the joke is always just periods, and then it's like, oh yeah, it's a little.
Yeah, no, it's that you're gonna have kids and it's gonna hurt.
Here it is. So I'm gonna go like, so basically like he asked Adam, y'all, why you guys hiding? Oh, we know we're naked now, and well, why? Oh, well, she told me to eat the fruit, so I did. It's like, yeah, throw her under the bus. And so then, and the Lord God said unto the woman, what is this that you hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. No, the talking serpent, the only talking thing we've ever come across ever said like, yo, you should eat it. So I went, okay. Dumb bitch. Sorry.
No.
And the Lord God said now, and I asked Max about this. I was like, what's a serpent? Because it turns into a snake. The Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And he's like, yeah, the serpent got turned into a snake. And I was like, my brain's still
because it crawls on its belly eating shit.
And
I
then
will
look
put what's that word?
Enmity.
Sorry. Between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. And then I was like, what does that mean? And I kept going. On to the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And I'm like, oh yeah, so what's the Oh, he literally said, so you're going to be pushing the kid out of your cooter, and you're going to feel everything. The head's coming out, then the heel. And I'm like, God damn it, Eve. Why did you listen to the serpent? But at the same time, If she hadn't, if Adam hadn't, we wouldn't be here.
Because they'd be chilling in the garden.
Because they would never have had children unless they were kicked out of the garden and they ate of the fruit of the tree of knowledge.
Right. Which is why you say it's not a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a mistake, right? But it isn't something God planned for clearly. He told them, you're going to die. And they did, by the way. And the promise is that they would be immortal in this garden, have everything you ever need. You're just going to be my little pets. It'll be chilling. And the snake's like, nah. What, God, what does he know? He's hiding shit from you. It was the first conspiracy theorist, Sam, was the serpent.
Yeah.
God, he got that secret shit, that good shit is on the tree that you can't eat. Why do you think you can't eat it?
He doesn't want you to know.
He don't want you to know that shit. And then he's like, yeah,
and then they're
fight
like,
the power.
Oh my God, we're naked. Let's tie these fig leaves together.
God's like, oh, yeah. Well, guess what? Now you learned about sex. You know what else you're going to learn about? What happens afterwards, bitch. And you're going to have to be subservient to your husband because you're going to be too busy raising these kids. He going to have to go out and earn a living. And by the way, Adam, that's your fucking punishment. Yeah. You're going to have to deal with these crazy bitches till the end of time.
Okay, I do have one question. So at the end of that, it says pain in pregnancy. So does that mean that?
That's like a footnote of another place where it references that, which is Timothy.
Eve's,
Sam, if you saw a serpent talking to you and no other creature had ever spoken to you in your entire existence, would you believe it?
Yes.
Let him answer.
No.
Good boy.
Not.
He's smart.
Depends on how, like, have I had any edibles? Like, what's going on?
Well, that's actually, like, one thing that, supposedly happened a lot during that time. Is that like people would supposedly like hear God. Yeah, like supposedly that's like how Moses like heard the voice of God or whatever.
Well, that's the thing is like I had Jamaican, friends growing up, and the one Jamaican guy I bought bootleg tapes from and all that, and they definitely believe that. They'd be like, yeah, man, the caveman be smoking up and they were so fun. Yeah. They thought, well, they also, because they were Rastafarian, that they believed it was a sacred plant chosen by God to be a sacrament and stuff.
Well,
like not smoking pot is a sin.
Right. Well, Maxine is looking that. Well, Maxine is looking that up. I unfortunately, or I guess fortunately, depending on how you look at it, was on social media for a lot of the weekend, mainly because like I hardly go on Facebook anymore, but like I had people from Turning Point or who I knew who had once been with Turning Point like blowing up my messages, like asking for my number to call me. So like I basically spent the weekend basically talking and basically just listening to people. It was like doing a podcast, but without, recording it almost. Bit of humor there, I guess.
Imagine that. Talking to people and not recording it. This is wild.
I know.
We're breaking new ground here on the Whitfield Report.
I know.
Maybe next week we'll just do that. We'll just talk. And y'all can imagine what it was like.
That would be funny if we did it like a whole.
Just put up a still frame of you and a still frame of me for 2 hours, and just put at the bottom the text that says, "And you can imagine what this conversation sounded like."
We would. People would hate us so much for that, but that is kind of what we do after the show. Sometimes, but
unrelated, but maybe will bring us all a little bit of joy. Yes, there's going to be a new Cringing Over Coffee very soon.
Oh, dear Lord, it's going to be good.
Because Chris Cantwell put out gay pornography of himself and also has AIDS. More on that soon, chat.
Didn't he write a book?
He wrote a gay porn, yeah, and it was a bestseller on Amazon, Sam.
How the hell?
I'm not like so angry about stuff he said about me in the past anymore.
It turns out, Sam, spoiler for the whole Cringing Over Coffee episode, is that in 2015 or 2016, I said, I was like, I want this on the record, and if Cantwell doesn't like it, sue me. And I made sure it got sent to him, and I said it on the air, that my prediction is this, that one day Chris Cantwell will come out as a homosexual man, and that he is a gay pornographer, or a gay porn star. And I understand how sad everybody is, and it is a sad time, but for me, this was a very fun moment. It's nothing I could even be angry about. Is like Cantwell's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna show all my haters I was gay the whole time.
Yeah.
Except he sort of mentions me in that he doesn't say my name, but he says there's a certain segment of people that will snicker and laugh because they always knew. And they can enjoy it all they want. Just don't comment on my post. And I'm like, I ain't going to comment on your post, but I am going to do a stream about it. And we will have a lot of fun with that one. And I'm waiting, though, because the mood's still it's a little down. But people, like she was saying, it seems like a lot of people felt better over the weekend getting to talk to people and go to church and express.
Yeah.
And,
Did you find Timothy?
I did. You know it's serious when you get book talk involved. The women of book talk, the authors that are either celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination or anything negative about his family or anything, they are literally destroying their books and saying, I'm never going to buy anything again. And like, wow.
I do want to give a special shout out now that I'm thinking about it for things like this to charliekirksmurderers.com, where you can find a list of all of the people saying all of this awful shit and maybe make a phone call to an employer or two, whatever.
Hey, the vice president said to do it.
Yeah, the vice president said to do it, and so did Sam Hyde. So it seems like we're all on the same side.
I do want to talk about that because there have been a few people.
Did you catch JD hosting the Charlie Kirk show today? Because it was, I hadn't watched the whole thing, but I've seen enough clips. It was really powerful.
Yeah, it was.
No, I have not. But like, I will though, and I have not seen I have not seen Erica Kirk's speech. People have sent me stuff, but like you have to understand, and I'm not saying this like to you guys, I'm saying it's more to like the audience. I've literally been like talking to people nonstop, like all weekend. Even like I do want to share, I talked to my friends who were let go from Turning Point and weren't on the best of terms with Charlie, and I don't want to mention their names, but like I guess like one of them at least, the one who is a friend of mine, he eventually like did kind of, I wouldn't say he made up with Charlie, but they were able to be amicable, and he was heartbroken when he found out the news, because he was just reflecting on the time when he and Charlie were friends, and all the memories that he had with Charlie, and including like when I met Charlie over Skype that one time, and I was back in Colorado when that happened, and Charlie was, I wouldn't say he was shy, but he was like a lot more reserved than he was now, like, and And that's the trippy thing is like so many people like know Charlie as like a big powerhouse, figure, and by all means, like he does deserve that recognition. But to me, they still shot my fellow Eagle Scout, who was one of the first people to congratulate me on getting my Eagle Scout. And then also, I did not realize this until just like last night, but Charlie and I were also Facebook friends, which I had forgotten about. And there's a direct message from Charlie that I never responded to, where 2 years ago when I graduated college, he messaged me and congratulated me, and I did not see that until just this past weekend. But like, yeah, that's the guy who was killed, a guy who checked up on me even years after we had spoken.
That's the thing is, I'd like to find somebody who has a verifiably bad story about Charlie Kirk. Do you know what I mean? Like he actually did something mean-spirited, or not like you're talking about years and years ago disagreements. Hell, I've even said some stuff where I'm like, yeah, I don't think he's hard enough on this, or he's too hard on that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, did Charlie Kirk ever say anything or do anything to anyone that I would consider mean-spirited? And so far, nobody has been able to show a damn thing like that. And Sam, you can't say that about me. You might not be able to say that about even you. That's a tough one, right? To never do anything mean-spirited to where people could put it as an example and say, hey, this one time he was a jerk.
Well, yeah, for sure. I will admit that, I've said dickish things to,
Yeah, you're sitting here doing a comedy podcast, so you've made jokes that would hurt somebody's feelings. Or that's what I mean. It's like Charlie Kirk, you don't really have that.
Well, no, I mean, like I've even said, things like privately that like I'm not proud of, and like I've apologized, and
But that's what I mean is we've
Right.
all gone out of pocket before. But here's a
Yeah.
guy that nobody can even prove that he ever did once.
Well, and I mean, I do know, I have heard like some behind the scenes stories, but I can tell you this, like we all go out of pocket. Here's the thing is Charlie's supposedly out of pocket stories are so minute that like they wouldn't even be worth.
Yeah, it's basically boils down to he's very uptight and conservative.
Yeah.
As far anytime I've heard a complaint, that's basically what it boils down to is he's a little uptight, and it's like you'd expect him to be.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And again, any disagreement I had with him politically kind of stemmed from that. Sam, I'm more of like the populist punk rock right. He's
Right.
more of the buttoned up conservative right. You have now found yourself somewhere in between, right? Which is where most people find themselves. And the populist punk rock right doesn't hate Charlie Kirk and never did.
No. No, and I mean like I'm not. I mean, I guess the only other thing is like
I always
Charlie-
thought it was great my wife watched his videos, right? Because that's like, oh, well, she's getting... Again, it might be for you and I, did we religiously watch the Charlie Kirk show? Well, no. Because a lot of the debates he's having, I mean, it's stuff we know. It's not stuff that's new to us. Because
Right.
we're political weirdos. But for normal people, Charlie's videos and his debates were a great way to teach them very basic principles of politics, debate, and philosophy. So I
Yeah.
thought he was a net positive. Always have. When you were like, well, but I'm not sure TPUSA is run the way I would run it, was basically your criticism. And I was like, yeah, but they're doing a good job. And you were like, yeah. And that was our opinion on Charlie always, right?
Yeah, and the other thing too is like even now, like my criticisms of Turning Point were always like I think they could do better, and they actually have done better um than even like my
Well,
they
the
have
problem
improved.
I think people don't understand is that your encounters with him are so long ago that it was before Trump got elected president the first time, and he
Yeah,
wasn't sold on Trump, especially then. And you
right.
were like, but a lot of us are. You weren't even like, but I am. You were like, but a lot of us are. Over
Yeah,
time, Charlie Kirk's opinion changed to accept your position wholeheartedly. That a lot of the young guys are pro Trump, and he's okay with that.
right. And and now he became one of Trump's like biggest allies, and uh
Yeah,
just
Donald Trump Jr. was absolutely heartbroken. You could tell.
yeah. Um Even like I don't know if you saw this, but Joe Rogan had on Charlie Sheen on his podcast, and let me tell you, like
Brought
I
in some
remember,
Tiger blood.
yeah, well, the whole podcast. So I've actually listened to that
You know
because
what's
I've actually,
funny is Charlie Sheen talks about fucking men recently the same way Cantwell does. Maybe he's just trying to emulate. Never mind. Anyway, go on.
well, what I was gonna say is like when Mr. Tiger Blood is saying that people are wishing Charlie Kirk dead. When Charlie Sheen is the reasonable
Well, I
one
know you were a big
compared to
time
you,
Sheen defender, Sam. So, what's your reaction to the fact that he's been very open about that he loves having sex with men?
that's weird.
Yeah, I agree. Don't
That
do
that,
that.
that's weird, but also like
Like, no, I'm not saying don't have sex with men either. I'm saying don't tell everybody about it if
yeah,
you do. That's all I've ever asked of gay guys is just don't tell me about it.
right. I
Don't tell
think
my
that
kid about it. Don't tell the school about it. You can
I
have
th-
all the gay butt sex you want.
I
Just keep it
think
behind closed doors.
yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Keep it in the
So
back
Charlie
door.
Sheen never once bothered me until he started talking about how he loves butt sex the last couple months. I don't know what's up with that. Keep it in your pants.
Or just don't tell me about it is all. But yeah, like even he was saying though that like the few videos he saw of Charlie Kirk were like Charlie Sheen is like a big lib. Last time
I've
I
seen a
checked, and
bunch of the libs that aren't crazy lost know better. Whoopi
yeah,
Goldberg was saying this is bad. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like because there's a level of even if she is one of the craziest liberals I've ever fucking seen, there's a level of if you can't relate to the humanity of this, then you're a fucking monster.
I do hope for real. This is kind of the one thing that I am kind of positive on is I know that after the Trump assassination, they were saying that maybe we should tone down the rhetoric, and then they never did. I hope that this actually is like where we actually can start to like, you know, get back to like civil discourse. Because if we can't, then
If
we're
you
fucked.
Nah, it's real simple how to do it. If you're advocating violence as a solution to your problems politically or otherwise, you cannot be a part of our society anymore. For
I
one
mean,
way or another, at least until we know that you're not a danger. I don't care if that
yeah,
involves mental health treatment. I don't care if that involves legal consequences. I don't care if that involves jail. But we cannot have people advocating violence as a political solution in our society.
yeah. I don't think that's
And
yeah.
they'll say, but what about the right wingers? And I'll say, lock them up too if you're going to be violent.
To to
They'll
which
say,
I
what
would.
about, the shootings that have happened that were right-wingers? Yeah, like the synagogue shootings, for example, or a couple of other things I could think of. They're right. There is right-wing terrorism. Don't argue with them when they say that. Say, yeah, we want them locked up too.
Yeah,
All of them.
yeah.
There's no
No,
point arguing. They're going to do whataboutism. We're not here for whataboutism anymore. If you're a violent psycho, you need to be locked up.
yeah. That's all
I
there
don't
is
care what
to it.
party you are, and I don't care what planet you think you come from. I sure as fuck don't care what your pronouns are.
I on the note of pronouns, I do want to point out that Jeffree, I guess there was this influencer named Jeffree Star. I didn't know anything about him.
Love Jeffree Star. I've loved him for years. I told you he wasn't a bad guy to like.
Apparently, he's
He may
getting.
be a weird creep, but he's not insane.
He was calling out the they. He was calling out the they them weirdos. Literally,
He has for
He
years.
was-
Well,
He
because
has
was-
for years because he gets called part of that, and
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
I ain't fucking that. I'm just Jeffree. What the fuck?
They also they like accused him of being a pedophile, and he's not even gay. They said he was with young boys, and it's like completely false.
Jeffree Star is gay.
Okay, but he was getting accused of being a pedophile, and I know it was completely
No, it was completely false because they were trying to claim that like the last boyfriend that he was with, at least that I know of, like the one that was on the videos with Shane Dawson. Yeah, they were trying to say that like he groomed him because like he wasn't really gay at first, and then he got with Jeffree, and then he came out and he's like, no, I always knew that I was bi, and no, I 20 something or something like that when I met Jeffree. Like, yeah, so no, it was all bullshit.
It's just that he went against the trans agenda because he's always said, as even she pointed this out to me, she's like, he says that he's not even a drag queen. He's a guy that likes makeup and is feminine.
Yep.
And that he's not trying to be trans. His name is Jeffree. He says it in that video, right? You see him. He's like, my name is Jeff. Jeffree. Jeff to my father and no one else, or
Jeff
something
is
like
the only
that.
one. His father is the only one that can call him Jeff. Everyone else calls him Jeffree.
But exactly. Because I'm telling you, man, it's even normal gay people have had enough of this fucking shit.
No, yeah, I wanted to point him out though because like people are saying that like it's all it's all gays and all trans and no, it's the cultists.
No, I mean, like, we got a diverse little rainbow around that we talk to of friends of all colors and genders and fucking identities and all that fucking shit that we have a common agreement. Even if we're talking to someone we disagree with, the common agreement is we don't believe in violence as the answer. And if you want to be in that club, it's called Humanity, by the way, this club. And if you want to be in that club, it's real easy. You just got to not think violence is the answer to your fucking problems.
I would suggest to the people of the gay community, the trans community, all of that aren't crazy, y'all need to start speaking up because these people are making you look bad. Because who was the shooter in the Minnesota school shooting that took out 2 little boys during mass when they were praying? Oh, a transgender person who literally wrote on the magazine of the gun, for the children, where's your God now? Killed Donald Trump, a bunch of horrific fucking things, just like things that were written on the bullets that the fucking little asshole used to take out Charlie Kirk. The other horrible school shooting, what was it? Oh,
Tennessee.
it was another transgender that did that one. Now, we don't know about the Colorado shooting, which unfortunately happened the same day that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. By the grace of God, those children survived. They were both teenagers. They both survived, thank God. But we know that it was a 16-year-old that committed it, but we don't really know why.
There's a common theme, and it's not even the transgender thing. I know that's the common theme right now, but we go back. We go all the way back to Columbine. We go before Columbine.
He was kind of obsessed with that.
The theme is real simple. These people always tell on themselves ahead of time, and they're not stopped. They put up manifestos. They tell friends and family. They're in this case, there's a Discord group, apparently, allegedly. They do not act completely in a bubble. And it's time we stop pretending. Look, I'm sick and tired of pretending that the Columbine kids' parents aren't partially responsible for what happened at Columbine. That bitch gave a TED talk. Shit, get the fuck out of here. Your son murdered those children. And then there's been kids emulating your son for the last fucking 30 years. Almost 40.
Yeah, that was yeah, I mean, thank you, because I've always had that opinion too, Max, even before like I met you. So it's yeah, it's
These kids, oftentimes the parents are the ones they get the guns from.
Mm-hmm.
They don't act in a bubble. I'm sick of this ignoring warning signs. You know, I don't talk too much about my history, but Sam, I was expelled from school for a threat I didn't make in 1998. Expelled, kicked out of middle school because okay, I'll explain. And I'm going to tell you, I made the threat, but not the threat that I got kicked out for, but I definitely said something that was a threat. I said, I'm going to fucking kill you. And I said, I'm going to fucking kill you to a kid that was hitting me with a crutch. See, we were at gym class, right? And the kid didn't like me and he had a broken leg and I was sitting on the fence and the teacher wasn't looking. So he came over and he started hitting me with his crutch over the fence. So I stood up, I turned around, I said, I'm going to fucking kill you. And him and all his buddies said he's going to shoot up the school. And I got kicked out of school. Where's that energy these days? I was not... Sam, by this point in my life, I had never held a gun. I'd never seen one in person. I didn't have a family. Well, I had seen one in person, I guess. But I didn't have any at home. My parents didn't carry guns. I didn't know anybody with guns. There was no possible way I could have carried out on that threat. But I got kicked out of school and I got sent to a hospital.
jeez. Yeah.
Didn't mean I was going to kill him either. I meant I was going to kick his ass. You're not
Well,
allowed to say that no
Well,
more.
yeah.
Thing you said all the time, like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and it's like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, but now it's like, oh my god, you're gonna kill me. Like,
I'm
no.
going to say bad things about you on social media. No, these people are literally out there saying they're going to kill people and nobody does a damn thing. And then we're shocked that they act violently. No, we're not. There are people, they're right, left, center, just crazy ass motherfuckers saying they're going to do violent shit, doing the violent shit, and nobody's fucking stopping them. And that, if we could put a lid on that, it solves so many other problems that stem from it.
I did see, I own a brief article about how there was a possible school shooting, like it was going to happen. They stopped it because they did exactly that. They saw the kids' social media and they went and they stopped it. They prevented that school shooting from happening. So it's possible to do it because they did it in DC.
Yeah, and it happens where, look, man, the education system is half the fucking problem in a lot of these cases. I'm not going to lie. From the top to the goddamn bottom, with some of the things these teachers are getting fired for. Hey, maybe that's a good fresh start. Let's get rid of these violent teachers. You're a teacher and you're this fucking crazy? Good, get rid of you. Gone.
Or like the teacher that, what was it, like elementary school, I think it was, and he showed them
10-year-olds.
10-year-olds. He showed them the video of Charlie Kirk's assassination
and said it was good.
Oh, I always get excited, or I'm always happy when fascists die, or some shit like that. And it's like,
That's the other thing. Like, I'm not one to limit free speech, but my old friend Blair O'Connor wrote a very good thing on Substack, which is, we need to stop othering people with conservative values as like Nazis and fascists and all these terms, because it's gotten insane.
Like I said, we got the team of humanity. You can be on that team real easy. You don't advocate violence. You call it out when you see it. You be a decent person. It's not hard.
And here's the thing: if you honestly think that someone is a fascist or a Nazi, try talking to them and having a dialogue. And yeah, you might not win someone over, but like having discussions is the very like backbone of our country, the ability to agree to disagree. And the fact that like this is all like elementary stuff to me and to you and to Maxine, but like I guess to a lot of people out there it's not. So
A lot of people don't know what the real like Nazis are nowadays, but like and that's the shame of it is a lot of people watched Nick Fuentes this week, so there's the downside. But yeah,
yeah,
like him, he's a Nazi. And I say that unequivocally. He has said that of himself. He is very open about his disdain for Jewish people. He doesn't like black people, right? He doesn't like Hispanic people. So I'm not talking out of pocket here.
The exact opposite of who Charlie
What
Kirk
what did he
was.
say to Jim? That he's going to be Hitler 2, 3, and 4, right? That's what he said to Mr. Medeker.
yeah,
And
which
look, I'm
would
kind of excited that Milo said that he's coming out of retirement. Kind of.
yeah,
But I know that he's still not the greatest. It's just I like it because like I know he's gonna hurt feelings and say the things I wish I could say, so that's like a good thing. But other than that, it's like he's still not the greatest.
Hey, man.
well,
Didn't
I
expect
still love him.
Cantwell to come out of retirement
Oh, God.
only to switch career paths to gay pornography.
Well, okay, so here's the thing with Milo. Like, I hope if he does come out of retirement, I hope he's at least like serious, and because like when I first started following Milo, he was very like intellectual and like very witty and sharp when he first went on like the Dave Rubin show, like he was articulate. And then he just became a kind of like the worst gay stereotype ever and kind of like a character. He made himself into a fool, and it's like I know he's had drug problems because he's even talked
Hold
about
on,
it. So
Sam. Are you saying to me right now that you disapprove of people playing a character that makes them look retarded?
in most cases, yes. You're the exception. I'm not worried about you doing lines of coke and then
Well, maybe he just wasn't pure about it, you know? Because, like, pure retardation, you're not thinking about a lot of shit. That's what I find, anyway.
what listen, unironically, you would be a great any one of us could be a good one to do the
No, you turn that switch off and you stop thinking about all the shit that you have to think about. And I find it really helps me, like, get in touch with, like, nothing.
well, maybe that's like a good way to have like a discussion with people, like if we're going to do the whole debate me thing that Charlie was doing, like maybe that's a good strategy. I just in all seriousness though, like I don't know who like with a big profile would be like a good equivalent, to have the discussion thing with liberal student. It's not going to be Ben Shapiro because he's a little too pretentious, I think, and he would deliberately try and
Could I tell a little secret?
sure.
It wasn't even really Charlie that people are looking to replace because Charlie wasn't the leader of this whole thing, and everybody kind of knows that. But when people are saying who's going to replace him, what they're saying is who is our leader. You understand?
Right.
He wasn't that, but he could have been, and everybody recognizes it. And they're just saying, well, but who is? They just don't maybe know that yet.
Right.
It ain't a replacement thing. Because sure, somebody can fill the role as the head of TPUSA. Hell, somebody could do a show on Charlie Kirk's channel and even call it the Charlie Kirk Show. But no, he can't be replaced like that.
Right.
And as far as a leader of the movement, people are looking for a leader that's much more far-reaching than TPUSA was at this point, right? That's kind of what they're talking about. And he actually wasn't that in real life. And maybe people feel bad because he should have been. And maybe people are like, he was the perfect person for the job. There's all kinds of reasons people feel the way they feel. But at the end of the day, the closest thing we have to that, the unifying person, is Trump.
Yeah.
And Trump knows more than anybody that we need more than that. That's why he picked JD. And man, every day that goes by, it seems like a better pick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like what he said on Charlie Kirk's show.
I'll have
All these people call their bosses, report them for what they say. I'm like, hell yeah, more people gonna be doing it now.
Yeah. He made a really, I guess, well-made eulogy for Charlie as well as a friend.
like I said, I'll have to watch that. I mean, I've been saying, even you said that last week, that like I was like pro JD from like day one, and maybe that's just because like I have the Michigan/Ohio middle of the country, mentality in my.
I definitely think he has impressed me more than anybody in the last year, for sure.
Yeah.
Even some of the people I thought would do well have kind of fizzled out, like Vivek. I like Vivek still. I'm not one of those haters. He's a nice person. We've met him.
Right.
Do I think he's on the wrong side of the H-1B visa issue? Yeah, and it cost him a lot, so maybe he'll rethink it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. And look, like I don't really even hate DeSantis. I used to like DeSantis. I just think he made bad moves, and
we don't even hate a lot of the leftist politicians we cover, Sam.
No.
We're often pointing out the good ones, especially. I always point out when I think somebody on the left is a good one.
Bill Maher isn't a politician, but like, my God, how people have actually complained that like I give Bill Maher too much credit. Actually,
when Ruth Bader Ginsburg died, many conservatives celebrated, and you can ask Maxine this, and even in my personal life, was telling people you shouldn't, because she was a good person. She did good work on that court. I don't care that she was a liberal, and if you think that she's the reason of Roe v. Wade was still upheld or whatever, you're actually wrong about that. Cheering her death was kind of scummy. I said that then, and when people cheered Charlie Kirk's death, I say it now.
Yeah, I never like cheered her death. I was just like, man, I didn't agree with her, but it's unfortunate for her family.
She gave us many wins for free speech that these people still have the advantage of.
Yeah.
On the right, us on the right, in regards to some of the talk radio regulations that they threw down and stuff like that, and the FCC, free speech on the internet, she ruled on all those cases. So to just sit there and boil somebody's career down to like this caricature of what you thought they were, that's why we're in this mess to begin with, guys. We can't be dehumanizing the other side as bad either. Now, I understand there are some ghouls out there, and I'll tell you how you can spot them. Ilhan Omar is one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Because they can't even, if you're a politician and you don't have anything nice to say, you are literally mandated not to say anything at all. Trust me. And people are going to make sure you hold to that from now on.
All the Democratic congressmen who were like screaming no when Boebert like proposed a prayer for Charlie Kirk, that's not going to go over well. Even my friend Luke called me, even though he's a very busy man, and like he checked up on me, and vice versa.
I haven't even been able to go back and watch our show because we were so fresh reacting to everything,
Well, like I said, Max, all I'll upload it, but like this is kind of the reason why I wanted to invite you and Maxine on tonight's show, because like now we've had a few days to kind of process everything. Like it was literal breaking news, and like we actually did extremely well considering. Like I've listened to some of it. The fact that like I was able to hold that any of us were able to hold it together as well as we did was
That's probably
well,
the hardest bit of news we've ever covered together, and I think I've ever covered at all. I covered 9/11 when I was in high school for like the school news, and I watched a lot of that footage, and this feels just as awful.
yeah.
Both to cover it in a journalism way and just the event itself.
Yeah, well, and for me that was the other thing too, was uh like you know the day after Charlie died was 9/11, so it was like it was kind.
You don't have to stay.
Well,
I know that this is a bothersome
I wanted
subject.
to talk about something good for a second.
Sure.
And it has to do with one of the good friends of the show. And
Yeah, shout out on the launch of his new book there.
so
But yes.
I went and got the 30-day free trial because I have Kindle through Amazon. So I was like, oh, I'll do the 30-day trial for the unlimited because Max was like, oh, this book, and you read it to me, and I went, oh, I gotta read that.
I read the book pitch, and she's like, wait, Andrew? Like the guy that was on the show, and I was like, yeah, the cop. And she's like, cops with vampires, you say? Yeah.
I was like, all right, I have to read it. So I just downloaded it and I was looking at it. Dude, I didn't even finish reading the preface, and I went, oh, I like this. I'm gonna like this. I am very excited to read this. Like it's, oh my god, it's so up my alley. It's all like, it's all the stories you used to tell behind, around the campfire, dragon stuff like that.
He is
Stories. What if it's all real? And I'm like, yep.
Well,
so I'm very excited.
That
to
was
read
what
it.
was kind of cool in a way, and I imagine just from reading his books in the past, it's gonna have this vibe, which is like Vampire the Masquerade a little bit, the game I've been talking about, where it's like the 90s, there's vampires, but most people don't know about them, and it's like sneaking around type, stealthy and gothic and cool. And I've been saying that vampire need like that kind. They tried to bring it back, Sam, but this Bloodlines game they're putting out looks like it's going to be dog shit, and it'll ruin the French.
So sorry, Mort. We know you're excited about that.
I know,
but
Mort loves vampires more than anybody, so he should check this one out. But we there's this other book that came out recently. I heard about, Sam.
Oh, also on Kindle Unlimited, by the way, along with all my other books, Sins of the Assassin, book 4 in the John Ryder series.
You get your Kindle Unlimited, you can read all of Sam's books,
including Blood Ties Volume 1, which is going to be the next book to come out.
If you get Audible, you could hear the great Doug Green read all but one, right?
No, all of them at this.
All of them, yes, based.
All but one, all but Blood Ties, and that's because I got like a different narrator because it's a different universe, different tone, so
fair enough.
But yeah. So, but book number 4, Sins of the Assassin, is out. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to make this announcement too. I am already working on book 5 of Shadows of Deception, called American Inferno, which, and I want to put this disclaimer out there now because
we get an applause button when you say that. Yay!
Yeah, well, I'm still fixing the soundboard, but it'll be back next week. But I want to put this out there now. Book 5 is going to be thematically about all of this political violence that is going on, in the country right now. the riots in LA, and unfortunately now Charlie Kirk's death. And I don't want it to seem like I'm writing this simply to grift off of Charlie's death, but one of the ways that I have found it helpful to kind of deal with this is to, and this is kind of how I've dealt with like other events too, is like to kind of work through these like really tough like real life situations and put them in my fictional books. And so, like I'm saying, I
Well,
don't
and
mean
I want to aside that, Sam. Anybody that gets to book 5 reading all of them will understand that to some degree, I would say, because it's pretty obvious that there's parallels to real world events in all of them.
oh yes, and the whole thing with like veterans dealing with PTSD, like that's a main through line. I even covered like a president, the presidential assassination attempt. I book 5. Unfortunately, it is going to cover a political assassination, and I'm also going to be dedicating it to Charlie because, and I actually talked to one of my fellow authors about this last night, and like I just feel compelled to write about it in this setting. So I know I know some people are gonna say, "Oh, you're trying to grift," but if you think that's your
There's
opinion.
people that would say us talking about the subject at all is a grift. There are people that called Charlie a grifter his entire career. So, frankly,
Yeah,
those are such silly accusations in this day and age. I mean, we're not out here. You're not out here making a bajillion dollars off of these books anyway. You're writing what you like, and people happen to enjoy it.
yeah. Now, if someone wants to buy a bajillion copies, and
Or just or buy the rights to make the series, Amazon.
please.
Anyone but HBO Max, Sam. That's where we draw the line.
Yeah, or
Shadows of Deception as a series is better than that. Let's face it. Max, no. Probably not Paramount either, now that I think about it.
I mean,
Sam's like, shut up.
Well, I mean,
alienating all the big corpos.
I mean, Paramount does have like some based. It really depends on like who's producing it, basically. Hey, if Scott Eastwood wants to play John Ryder, like I would be fine by that. So, but anyway, yeah.
Sorry, I got a little invasion there.
Yeah, but Andrew's putting out good work. Also, Steve Stark, I gave a shout out to him this past week too. Because like people are criticizing Stephen King and Don Winslow for stuff they've said about Charlie, and maybe that's fair. But rather than giving them negative attention, I would much rather just promote like authors who we enjoy and who are not alienating their audiences, with political stuff.
And they're very approachable, man. Like, that's why we're chatting it up with these guys. Look, if you find any of these authors we recommend and you enjoy their work, just go tell them so on Twitter, and they will almost certainly respond to you because they have time for the fans of their work.
Yeah, Andrew. I know Andrew's been dealing with like some personal, family issues, but
yeah. I mean, like, eventually, if you're just like, "Hey, I love your books," eventually they're gonna say thank you because you're not gonna get that from Stephen King 99% of the time, even if he wasn't a dickhead about it.
No, I mean, you're not even going to get that from Jack Carr, who I like just because the man is busy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But these
Quite.
guys, I mean, the community of authors that you kind of interact with and then beyond are amazingly approachable. Um, they are helpful. They love to help promote each other, and it's this awesome. I love to see independent artists helping each other out.
Yeah, it's and also like all of them have also, for the most part, unilaterally come out and said that this was a horrific, thing. Even like authors like Terrence McCullough, who disagreed with Charlie on a lot of stuff like ideologically, but I mean he also writes about assassinations in his books. He's written about the Kennedy assassination, and he was one of the people that actually reached out to me personally and just like checked up on me. And yeah, this shook a lot of people. Charlie's death certainly was not in vain, which is like literally one of the only good
What
things.
we do from here is up to us. That's the
Yeah.
important thing. Who's
Yeah.
gonna replace Charlie Kirk? They keep asking. You know what my answer is, Sam?
No one.
You, all of you, all of us.
Yeah. Well, I think much like Rush Limbaugh, Charlie is irreplaceable. No one's going to be able to truly ever replace them. But we can all do our own part.
But they're asking who's going to lead a movement, and that's the question they're really asking, and that's why my answer is you, me, all of us, each of us. If you care about things and you want to see change, a lot of us have been hiding for a long time, Sam. A lot of us, like you and I, we'll sit here and talk politics on the show, but how many people do you know that are like, I'm terrified to do that? Even if I have milquetoast opinions and, I wish I could share them, but they're afraid because they see cancel culture and they see all this vitriolic fucking bullshit.
No, I think we're done with cancel culture as a culture. I mean,
yeah, we're also done with violent psychos running around saying whatever they want.
They
don't get it because they're like, oh, this is like cancel culture. What did they say, Sam? Cancel culture doesn't exist. It's consequence culture, right?
Well, yeah. Well, they're about to find out about consequence culture.
Hey, hundreds and hundreds of them already have, and we're like, it's easy. See, the thing they don't get it is we know all the rules already. We know all the ways to fuck them over just because they've been fucking us over for 10 years.
Yeah.
We know how to get around it. We know where the exploits are. And many of them, let me tell you something about cancel culture. They say it wasn't real. Tell me about Andrew Dodson, our friend from back in the day, okay? Who was a libertarian, okay? And went to what he thought was a free speech rally called the Unite the Right in Charlottesville, and then got painted as a fucking Nazi, and his family was ruined. His wife left him. His kid took his kids. His job fired him, and he killed himself.
Yeah.
They want to talk about fucking there was no cancel culture. Kiss my ass. You want to say violent, psychopathic things on all that man did was go to an event that Nazis happened to be at.
Yeah.
I don't see that as nearly as a crime as celebrating the murder of an innocent, not politician. That's why it is a political assassination, but he wasn't a politician. The most you could say to him was he was a speaker or a writer or a preacher, not a politician.
Right. He was at worst an influencer.
Yeah.
Which I know is
You should
cringe.
apologize. That's not nice to say. Sam's saying mean things now. He called Charlie Kirk an influencer. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be an influencer. That's gross.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. At the very worst, that's what he was.
But that's why I said speaker, writer, debater, I guess, but then people will put master in front of it, and then it's funny. That's what South Park did. I don't know if you knew that. They had the whole episode where Cartman was the master debater. And he was supposed to be Charlie Kirk. Hey, do you know what Charlie...
That was awesome.
Yeah, he laughed about that because South Park did an episode.
They took that down now, and I'm like, why? He actually enjoyed that. He thought it was funny.
I can understand from their perspective why they might take it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? They might just feel bad about it. They might feel like with...
Yeah, true.
Because it only came out a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't know if they took it down or it was like, what, they're on Comedy Central, right? If they took it down. I don't know. I just know that the episode was taken down.
Yeah.
I could see somebody saying, look, this is not in good taste right now. Even if it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be, made available again at some point. But yeah, I mean, I can kind of
available streaming. They're just not going to replay it on TV, as I understand it. And that's happened a lot with South Park. And sometimes it has been at the request of Matt and Trey. Some of the Imagination Land episodes are the same thing. Some of the ones that deal with like Muhammad, they asked to be pulled. So I don't like to assume what their stance on it was, but I'll give them a benefit of a doubt that you could say, even if Charlie thought it was funny a couple weeks ago, maybe they just think it's in poor taste now, which is fair.
Yeah. I remember like I saw something like one of the people I was talking to actually this past weekend shared a story about that where when that when that episode came out, Charlie, from what I understand, was actually like, I can't believe like I made it onto South Park. Like he was kind of like, okay, now I've made it.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of like the humor pointed at him, he probably would have found funny. Yeah, like legitimately, I would have assumed he would, because Master Debater, immediately he would have laughed at that. Immediately.
Yeah.
The Master Debater Club, do you think he wouldn't find that fucking funny?
Mm-hmm.
Of course he would, and he did. Because it's silly, because it is funny, because it's okay to criticize people. And hey, the people that are losing their jobs, we ain't talking about criticisms here. We're talking about celebrations of violence.
Yeah,
advocation for violence, which is a crime.
Well, yeah, so that's the other thing I want to point out too is the libs are saying, oh, well, the right wing is engaging in cancel culture because they're simply getting people fired who were simply disagreeing with Charlie, and it's like no, people who are getting fired are the ones who were like saying that they were glad that he died.
Okay, Sam, still trying to give a reason to those people. No, the people saying that, Sam, you know what I say back to them? Go fuck yourself. You don't get to tell us nothing no more. Mm-hmm. We're sick of hearing you. You don't get to tell us how to grieve. You don't get to tell us how to act. You don't get to tell us how to live our lives. You want to fucking have the right to do that? Take the fucking power back in this country and force it down our fucking throats at gunpoint. Bitch.
Which, yeah.
And we're going to fight you this time. It ain't like before. I see normies that are ready to fight you. They don't want to fight. That's why they're so upset. They don't want to fight you. They don't want to fight. We don't want to fight. We just want to be left alone. You don't want to leave us alone. Not in our schools, not in our homes, in our living rooms. You don't want to leave us alone anywhere. We can't have video games. We can't have movies. You're a racist. You have to think about how you're a racist 24 hours a day. And if you're not a racist, you're a homophobe. And so you should think about that. On and on and on and on and on. Now you can't even grieve a man because we think he did some thought crime. You don't listen to these people no more. They don't own you, and you don't have to justify nothing to them.
I wish that I was do what a lot of other people have been doing on their social media. It's like variations, but it's basically like, this is my name, this is how old I am, I'm a conservative, I'm a Christian, whatever. I am Charlie Kirk, and then there's like another variation of, if you don't like that, or if you need another reason to unfollow me, it's all that stuff. So it's like, if you are celebrating this man's death, unfollow me.
I get it, but not everybody got to put their head up either.
Yeah. But like, I still like, maybe not being brave enough to actually doing that, but like actually to be able to speak out how I actually feel about it. Because like on my main TikTok, like I kind of want to do that because I see mutuals, people I follow that like I'm not friends with, acquaintances with, and they are reposting this stuff, and I'm like, they're brave enough to repost this stuff, and I'm not, because I am afraid because of the shit that's going on, and that makes me so angry because I know that it's like giving them what they want, but
but there's a good
hard.
reason to be afraid, because the blood is still fresh. And it's not right, and we've all saw it. And now everybody and the bastards will make you see it again if you complain too.
Yep.
That's what you're mostly should be afraid of too, is that some of those snakes will pop up in your fucking comment section and linking you to things that they want you to fucking be traumatized by. Because they're ghouls. By the way, hey Sam, did you see I called The Rock's daughter a ghoul and ratioed her? Did you see that?
He did do that.
I did not see that one, but I will go on.
Yeah, Ava Raine, NXT's general manager, is The Rock's oldest daughter, and she retweeted, somebody had put something to the effect of, "I find no kind words for people who had no kind words to give in life," and she retweeted, "I can't believe I have to retweet this. The people should know this." And I just said, nobody's asking for kind words from the likes of you. We're just asking you to keep your hatred to yourself, ghoul.
Based.
And I just keep getting likes on that one. I have a feeling she's not going to be general manager of NXT for very much longer, considering that company is like tied to the Trump administration.
Yeah, I mean,
it's weird, but okay. Yeah, people getting fired. I've also seen some really great tributes. I would say WWE handled it really well with doing their Triple Mania, which was their first big event. Not Triple Mania, Worlds Collide with AAA. Lillian Garcia gave a beautiful rendition of the national anthem, and you could tell
meant more than any other time she's ever sung that song,
except for once, which you could tell she was brought back to. She sang the first live national anthem after 9/11.
Yeah, it very much like the same vibe, because like this is another event that is, it's crazy because it hasn't only rocked our nation. It's not just our country. The UK, China, South Korea, like all these other countries having prayer vigils, prayer marches. I mean, you were even saying that in the UK, they're now saying it was close to like 3 million people were in that prayer march for Charlie Kirk. Fucking amazing.
The estimates are all over the place, but it's because the media lied, and everybody can tell that it's more than 100K. Because 100K in that square, we've seen it a billion times. It would be nothing. It would be a blip on the radar. It's still a large rally, don't get me wrong. But it wouldn't be as big as that.
I'd have to say to these people, I know that part of the reason why they went after him was they wanted to kill God. I know that. I just wanted to say to them, you didn't kill God. All you did was woke up his army. Because now we're coming together and we're just like, enough is enough. Enough is enough of going after people for speaking their mind, their First Amendment right. And because you don't like it, attacking them, killing them, slandering them, getting them fired. Enough of you coming after Christians, coming after us, attacking us, going after our fucking children, you sick fucks. Enough is enough. And it's time for us to fucking take this nation back. It's time for God to take this nation back. Like they've started a fire within me that I didn't even know I had there to like be more fucking dedicated in my faith and be better in my faith. Like I didn't think I had that in me, but I fucking do now. Sure as hell do now.
Sadly, I sit here in a position where this just proves a lot of what I've been saying right to a lot of people that didn't hear what I had to say anyway, so it wouldn't have helped. But I do know where we go forward from here. That's the one thing I do know. And it's we go forward with hope because they tried to kill it. You never let them kill your hope. You don't take the black pill. That's for pussies.
Oh my god, the Krasensteins are doing the fucking meme that well you retweeted it, but yeah, the Krasensteins are more worded like trans activists being targeted.
I'd say
Well,
this though. If you're the praying type, one thing you can do is pray that these people will, come out of it or reject their wicked ways or whatever you want to say. Because otherwise, this is an inevitable fucking conflict.
Well, so it's funny. So I found the Timothy thing, but you talk about Revelations a lot. And to be honest, I've never really read it. I was actually very surprised. Some of it is in red ink.
Yes.
Why is that? I'm sure you know.
Because it's prophetic. Red ink. The red ink stuff is prophetic versus the black ink is more introductory.
Okay. So I found this. I read it at first and I was like very taken aback by it. And I was like, oh my God. Then I kind of looked it up to get the meaning.
Yeah, you don't give up hope. I wanted to say, because you're about to give us why, but I want to give you the real quick one. Is because we win in the end, guys. Says so right here. Go ahead.
So this is the part that I got into. I don't really know who's talking to who. That part kind of confuses me. But I think it's supposed to be Jesus talking to the Thyatira church. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Thyatira.
Thyatira.
A church. It's a church in the end time.
So he says, I know thy works and charity and service and faith and thy patience and thy works, and the last to be more than the first. Notwithstanding, I have few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calleth herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication, and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. And I gave her space to repent of her fornication, and she repented not. Behold, I will cast her into a bed, and them that commit adultery with her into great tribulations, except they repent of their deeds. And I will kill her children with death, and all the churches shall know that I am which he searcheth the reins and hearts, and will give unto every one of you according to your works. Now I read that at first, and like what really got, I was like, okay, the whole like throwing her down on the bed thing, I was like, all right, that's gonna mean something that like I need to look into. And then like the like killing her children part, and I was like, okay, first off, I need to like look up who Jezebel actually is, because I know Jezebel was like a prostitute or something like that. I know that's where the term Jezebel comes from. I did not know that they actually had her teaching at that church, and she was actually teaching them the ways of sin.
Yes.
I did not know that part.
Yes. So she came into the church acting as, and she said stuff like, to love yourself is to love God.
Mm-hmm.
You should do, sin because it's, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's what she was doing. And
I do know that, I don't know where it is, but I do know that it said like the people that repented their sins for like being with her and everything were like spared, but like the people that didn't, like, yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah, and you can see a lot of parallels with a woman teaching you into the ways of sin and fornication in the modern
Which is
day.
why now I do understand a lot better as to why my dad was so much against women teaching. Like he didn't have anything wrong with them being deacons. He thought that was perfectly fine. But there was a point at the church that I grew up going to, which they called themselves a non-denominational church. You have explained to me why it's
Basic
so much bigger
bitch
than that.
Protestant,
Yeah.
more or less.
And there was one point where I don't know the whole story, but I do know that the pastor had this woman that was actually going to give a service during Sunday. She was going to do the sermon, and my dad was just like,
Nope.
no. Supposed to do that, like it says it in the Bible. We're not supposed to do that, like no. And so
and
that's when we actually stopped going to that church.
I'm gonna hold your page, but even as you can see, the Bible that he left to me, if you go through, right?
Yeah, this is the one he left to me. It's all like the family stuff and everything that I filled out.
Yeah.
Time to do that.
But it was in the margins.
That's in the other Bible.
Oh, the other Bible.
That's in the one that he actually.
He specifically
his personal Bible.
He specifically referenced the Timothy Bible, the verse that it sent you to. That's why I wanted to see if you would look it up, because that's.
Oh yeah. Where?
That's the one.
Yeah, that's why I gave you a look.
Yeah, that's the one your dad left behind for you and me. And...
1 Timothy chapter 2 verses 11 through 12. Let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. I need to highlight the rest of that. But it was the first part that I was like, you son of a bitch, you fucking knew that's what it was going to take me to, didn't you?
Yeah, I knew it's exactly the verse your dad left for you. And should learn in silence.
I ain't never going to do that, just so you know.
Well, funny enough, that's like one of the big, talking points that like the left has as to like why Charlie was like bad, because he was quoting like Bible verses that were sexist according to them. And I'm like, okay, so what?
I think it goes till 17, by the way.
Yeah, I'm still reading, and I was like, notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing, if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he doeth a good work. And then it talks about like what a bishop must be, because it goes into chapter 3.
And that's the good bishop section.
So it's actually 1 Timothy chapter 2 verses 11 through 15.
Yeah, I thought it was either 15 or 17, something like that.
Yeah.
It basically, you shouldn't be taking spiritual advice from women. That's what the Bible says.
What does it mean by she shall be saved in childbearing?
Well, that's
if they continue in faith and charity in it.
Well, because like the wage of the man is to take care of the woman and be a good father, and the wage of the original sin of the woman is child rearing and child taking good care of her kid. You see?
Yeah.
Basically, the goal is the same, but we have different.
So maybe I'm thinking about it
parts.
A little too much, but it says she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. So does that mean is that like saying like if a woman and like they don't continue in good faith and stuff like that's?
Well, I mean, it's saying the path to heaven for a woman is to have faith and sobriety and temperance and all that, and also have kids.
Okay.
It's not saying you can't get into heaven if you don't have kids, but it's saying that's the path to heaven.
No, so I'm good.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
For women especially, right? That's saying that's the path to heaven is having kids.
Well, but
obviously some women literally cannot have kids. I don't think it's ruling that out.
Yeah, no.
It's just saying it's much easier for a woman of good faith and temperance who has kids.
Right. And but like that's like to the point I was just bringing up though. That's why like a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, Troy quoted that and that's why he's bad." I I honestly don't care what these people think anymore about him. Like you guys can, kick and scream about he was this, he was that, whatever. The other thing I love too is like I don't know if you've seen this, Max, but like all these people who were mad about Charlie and who thought that he was like some right wing radical, they're now discovering that like there are people like Andrew Tate and Nick Fuentes and like actual like they've kind of discovered that like they
And
took
then there's people like us who have been pushing back against Nick Fuentes for so
well
long.
right
And it's like, thanks, assholes. You just drove like 100,000 kids to go check him out. Fuck you.
well
I mean,
right yeah,
you're making more Nazis with this bullshit.
yeah. um I do have a feeling that like and this is the other thing is like I know that Nick Fuentes did like a eulogy for Charlie Kirk supposedly. Uh, I don't think it's sincere at all. I know that might seem a bit harsh, but just based on past behavior, I call BS. What I will say is, I think that there are other individuals out there who, like we said, we're all Charlie Kirk now, and maybe one day this show will go
Yeah,
viral.
and that woman on the train is your sister. She's your wife.
Yeah,
She's your daughter.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's, I think, the big takeaway, like I'm saying, from the Sam Hyde thing. I highly recommend people check out what he had to say. It's really honest and heartfelt, and very similar to where I'm at.
yeah,
Check out JD Vance's hosting the Charlie Kirk show. It might make you feel at least a little better. And I
yeah.
don't know what else. It's been a tough week. I'm trying to. I also had a bunch of shit to do this weekend, so that didn't help. I'm trying to this week. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna try to play some video games and relax and get my bearings and
Well, we do
do an
have the one.
episode of cringing over coffee about how Cantwell is a gay porn star
Yep.
because that's
w-
funny.
we'll be doing the Wednesday show for sure. I'm sure we'll have more stuff to discuss. Then I'm I am going to be asking people if they want to. Like, here's the thing. Eventually, we will be doing a Charlie Kirk memorial show. I just don't. It feels a little too soon. But we will do one eventually. But like I said, I just kind of wanted to do this pre-record one just to, let people share kind of their thoughts. Or, just the three of us kind of share our initial thoughts. So,
Oh, be good to each other.
yeah. Other than that, do you guys have anything else to say?
Oh no, damn! I
Um,
think I just said it. Be good to each other. Why? You got something?
Yeah, if I can find it, I think it's the right one. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So people were saying that it's like 12:23 is like the time of his death, right? Charlie Kirk.
Sure.
So John 23. John chapter 12 verse 23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshippers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for the Father seeketh such to worship him. There was another one that people had mentioned about I'm trying to remember because I can't remember what the verse was, but about how it was like the hour of, oh crap, I can't remember now. But it was like the hour that someone was meant to like come to him to have something good happen or something like that. I just can't remember. Sucks that I can't remember that, but I remember this. People are putting that all over social media, so I just kind of wanted to read that since people are.
And here's one is just picture this for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Up in heaven somewhere. You mentioned, oh yeah, he'd see your dad. He sure would, and your dad would talk his damn ear off. And that's probably what's going on right now. Is everybody's waiting their turn to have a chat with Charlie Kirk, and her dad's just sitting there like, but hold on, we got to talk about Ezekiel now.
It's funny because when you told me, because like he said, he woke me up from a nap, and he told me honestly that the first thing that I thought was, Dad, please be up there for Charlie right now. He's going to need someone. Because I know my dad would be the first one there because he would like feel the heartbreak of like, you were just stolen from your family. You're going to be like, and he would just be there to be like, I got you, brother.
Awesome.
Like that would be my dad.
Yeah. And same with my uncle.
Also, nobody loved to debate the Bible as much as her dad. That's why I say that is, oh, Charlie's the debate guy. Oh boy, he's in trouble.
Well, and my uncle is probably debating Charlie on like politics and whatnot, because as I've said, like my uncle was a liberal back when like being a liberal used to actually like be like not left wing BS. So like they're probably having like a cordial debate. Maybe not even that. They're probably talking about like music or something is my guess, because that's
if it were my dad, I guarantee you they are sitting up there right now, and my dad is sharing every single freaking embarrassing story from my childhood with Charlie.
That's one thing.
Yep, that was one thing he loved. Oh my God, like the first time that he actually like talked to you when he met you, told you one of the most embarrassing stories from my childhood, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
They did
yeah.
Both of her parents did. But
yeah. I would also imagine that Gary's like, oh, so you knew my nephew somewhat. Okay, well let me tell you this. I bet you didn't know this. I bet you didn't know that. So.
Oh my God, can you imagine my dad and Charlie debating about the Bible and Bible verses?
Well,
my dad would be so happy.
Well, that's what I'm saying is your dad would be in his glory.
Yep.
And poor Charlie would be stuck there being like, but wait, that's not how that goes.
Yeah.
Because that's what it was like for me, Sam.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, no, I'm certain of it. And we pull out a Bible and he'd be like, yeah, that's exactly what I said. And I'm like, that's not even close to what you just said. Sorry. That's why it was so fun. But it was also immensely frustrating because sometimes he materialized Bible verses out of the morphine. It just kind of congealed a bunch of words from the Bible like an AI in his head that just generated new verses that never existed.
I can laugh about that now because, like, yeah, and
Dad GPT basically.
Yeah. No, she never thought it was funny, though. That's the thing. She was embarrassed by this shit. It's just, it's been enough time that she could see the fun. I thought it was funny, though. Because I would just be like, hey, I actually think it's, like, not what you just said at all. And he'd be Max, like, no, I'm certain of it. And we'd be arguing for, like, 10 minutes till he finally flip open his Bible and he'd be like, yeah, that's exactly what I said. Like,
so I actually realized that I read the wrong verse and I have the right one. So this is actually it is John chapter 12, verse 23. I read the wrong one before because I'm stupid. So this one, I'm going to go with the first one because I think you need a little bit. Philip cometh to telleth Andrew, and again Andrew and Philip tell Jesus. And Jesus answered them, saying, the hour is come that the Son of Man should be glorified. And they're saying that's what it was for Charlie. Like the hour for him to be glorified and whatever. And like I like that there was a post, a really beautiful picture that somebody had made, and it's Charlie and Jesus. And Charlie says, Father, I could have done so much more. And Jesus goes, brother, you don't know, but you already have, or something like that. Or like, you don't know what you've already done. Like, and I was like, yeah, because I mean, it is astounding to see the entire world coming together in prayer vigils. And even we were watching videos. If there's anybody that goes there and like disrupts a vigil or will try and just destroy a memorial, people are just like, nope, and they're beating them down and getting them arrested. And it's like, yeah, no, that, you know, Charlie, you did what you had to do. You spoke your words. You tried to bring people together, but now we got to take over. And unfortunately, these heathens,
look, man,
you need a little bit of hands-on.
Ain't all of us got the stones to just sit there and bite the bullet. I hate to use that phrase, but that's what it is. To just sit there and just take it and say, let it be in God's hands. Some of us, we got that drive. We got that dog in us to fight back, man. We can't all beat Charlie Kirk in that sense, but we can certainly just not leave his name behind in the dustbin of history.
Oh, and as for the people that want to talk about guns and gun control and guns kill people, a rock killed Abel. But it wasn't the rock that killed Abel, because it was Cain that picked up the rock, and he chose to use that rock to kill his own brother because he was jealous that God liked Abel's offerings more than Cain's. And God was basically like, you aren't actually trying. Your brother is, but if you do better, you'll be better. And he took his brother out. It wasn't the rock that killed Abel, it was Cain. Cain used the rock. People kill people with guns. They use the gun to kill people. If you set your gun on the counter, it ain't gonna do shit. If you set a knife on the counter, it's not gonna cut your cheese for you. It's what someone does with that object, not the object itself.
And they got it's rich of liberals to talk about gun control. When that shooting in the church previously about a week ago, the shooter explicitly said that they did it to get gun control passed because we're going to kill your kids until you give us gun control. So that's their idea of politics right there. They don't care for democracy, Sam. They don't care for constitutions, rules, rights, none of that. They're just going to scare you and terrorize the community until you do what they want.
Yeah, they're basically doing like so they're going full terrorist now. That's wonderful. Yeah. Anyway, though.
They want you dead and they want your kids dead.
Yep.
And they think it's funny.
They think it's funny. I mean, this is disgusting. As a mother, as a wife, I cannot. Erica Kirk is the most badass, strongest woman I have ever fucking seen. To be able to stand there and say the things that she said with such conviction and strength. My God, that woman is a fucking warrior. I know why Charlie married her. And I do not envy what she has to do in the years of raising those small children. And fuck every single goddamn person that is criticizing her for, the blueberry story. You fucking goddamn heartless bitches. That child is 3 years old. Their son, younger. What, a year? They are going to ask that question, especially her daughter, over and over and over again. And that story is going to change. Each time she tells her daughter or her son where daddy is, it's going to be different. She chose the best one that she could think of in the moment of still trying to grieve her husband and wrap her mind around what just fucking happened and trying to comfort her 3-year-old daughter. So she said, Daddy's on a business trip with Jesus to help budget your blueberry fund. That is fucking beautiful. That brought tears to my eyes. I think that is beautiful. And the shirts coming out, my God, red, white, and blueberries made me want to fucking cry. If I could buy that shirt, I would. There's people talking about seriously sending them blueberries and saying that it's from heaven. Like, people want to support her, and then other people are
all up.
Oh yeah, I've been the Morthus and I have both been the direct recipients of.
Oh, you should. Somebody like you shouldn't be doing that because you have a condition.
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
that shit.
That's
Yeah,
why he knows exactly what it means. They're
Fuck
fucking with you.
Yep.
Under the guise of concern for you.
People are
like the woman who she's a teacher. I believe she got fired. I hope she did. Oh, please join me in a moment of prayer. And then the prayer was literally mocking the death of Charlie Kirk.
Correct.
And, ha ha ha. And I was like, bitch, you're lucky I ain't there. I want to fucking punch you in the goddamn throat.
Actually, though,
Like-
that's not even concern trolling because at the end she took the mask off. Concern trolling, they never take the mask off. They oh, how could she say that to her child like that? Isn't she awful? Because they already hate her.
Yeah,
and they hated her husband.
Normal people are like, no, that's a beautiful fucking story because obviously there's a very deep connection between her father, and fucking blueberries.
We don't need to explain her. She doesn't need to explain herself. We're not fucking playing your game no more.
Dude, it was fucking terrible for me to try and explain to our son when he was 4 years old of why he was never going to see Papa again. How can you explain to your child where their grandfather or their father is when you yourself can't fucking understand it? She did the best she could as a mother, and I praise her and think that she's a fucking amazing and strong woman, and if I could, I would give her a hug.
Yeah, and we're not playing that game of you have to defend people because my morals are outraged. I don't fucking care. You know, a moral outrage looks like an innocent man getting shot. Our moral outrage is some prayers. Shut the fuck up. Shut the absolute fuck up with that shit. We don't fucking care no more.
No, what happened with this? You have more people that have left the Democratic Party and other joined the Republican Party or just weren't anything at all and became Republicans. You have people that are saying, I want to be Christian. I want to get to know God. I'm going to go to church for the first time. Help me. There's this thing all over TikTok, and I actually want to get it. It is the Bible in 52 weeks, where it helps you go through the Bible. Sure. I wish I could afford it because, I would love to get that and go through it. And, it helps you, Bible verses you should read, what you should do, talking, showing you, how you do the things that people are asking. How do I talk to God? And I'm like, my God, I wish I could get that. I just can't afford it. But this is what's happened. It's brought people together. It's brought people to God. It's a sad fucking thing that has made a wonderful thing start to happen.
Yes.
And that's why I think that even if God himself were to whisper in Charlie's ear, my son, I'm sorry, but this is what has to happen, then Charlie would say, well then, Father, that's what has to be done. And I'll be home with you soon. Because that's the kind of man he was. Fuck, I didn't want to cry.
It's okay. But yeah, if you've never heard of concern trolling before, learn to recognize it. When somebody doesn't have your best interest in mind at all, and they're just criticizing you as if they're your friend, that's concern trolling. Yeah. And the left, that's been their number one weapon for about 10 years. Oh my God, you feel that way? You're a racist.
Longer.
I'm sorry for your kids. Isn't it so bad for their kids that this person's a racist? That's concern trolling.
So
it's bullshit. It's fake bullshit.
hold on. You said 10 years. I want to point out that like I have personally experienced concern trolling since I fucking started podcasting back in 2007. Sam, why are you listening to Rush Limbaugh? You know, he says extreme things. I'm not so sure you should be listening to him, buddy.
That might not be
Um,
good for you. Yeah.
the another example of concern trolling that I actually
to stick on that example, Sam, they would tell you, "Oh, Rush Limbaugh says stuff that about handicapped people, right?"
yes.
And you would listen to it, and sometimes it might even sound rough, I guess, if you're a handicapped person. But you, as a reasonable person, can also listen to what Rush says about certain things and be like, "That makes sense." But they want to scare you away. This is concern trolling. This is exactly what they do.
They do the same exact thing with Charlie Kirk,
Right.
with empathy. So they're like, oh, he says empathy isn't real and all this shit. And it's like, listen to what the man actually said. He said that he doesn't actually like the word empathy. He thinks that sympathy is a much better word to use because empathy implies that you feel what that person is feeling and you cannot feel what another person is feeling, but you can sympathize with how a person is feeling. I absolutely agree with that. That's why I hate it when people are like, oh, you're an empath. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm just really fucking sympathetic and sensitive, you prick. God.
It's just a thing they use to kind of they control what it means. And so if you're not the funny thing is they don't seem to have any empathy for Charlie Kirk at all.
None.
The other thing too that this I guess is another form of concern trolling I saw a lot of this weekend, and I unfriend people over this on Facebook. Was I saw of yeah, well, I mean, I don't like the fact that he got assassinated. That was terrible. But he did say controversial things, and so in a way, he did kind of bring it on him.
Yeah, that's concern trolling.
Yeah. I have really had to close my apps because I've seen those exact same things that you're talking about, and I'm just like, y'all realize you're still saying he fucking deserved it.
Right. Because they do realize
Good, he deserved it. You're still saying that, you retards, just by saying, oh, it's so bad. That's the same thing as when you say, like, you know, not to be mean or not to be rude or anything. It's this, like, you're still being rude. You're still being mean. You're still saying he deserved it. And that's fucking sick.
Right. And
because no one deserves that. No Democrat who has ever been attempted to be assassinated or been attacked or harmed is okay. That's fucking wrong. It doesn't matter. No one fucking deserves that shit. How fucking hard is it to understand that?
R.I.P. Brother Malcolm. R.I.P. Brother Martin.
All right.
I don't stay on just one side. You know, Sam, when I say Malcolm X's death has affected me and it happened before I was born, I ain't fucking kidding. And it ain't because of his politics. It's because of what he had to say. Yeah, man, Malcolm X is funny enough. Charlie Kirk in the past has quoted Malcolm X because Malcolm X cared about family. He cared about integrity. He cared about standing up for yourself. And he said, don't trust any of these fucking media motherfuckers. They're all liars.
Didn't he also say that, like, Democrats were, like, the most dangerous or something like that?
He said white liberal Democrats who pretend to be anti-racist are the most racist people. That's what Malcolm X said.
Yeah, he said white liberal. And you know what? He's fucking right.
He's been proven more right as time has gone on. That's the people that are the most racist. But regardless, it doesn't matter when somebody's shut down like this for their words. I find it deeply offensive as an American who believes in the process of a republic that has a constitution and human rights and democratic processes through which we decide our representation. This has all been decided. Why was that all decided? Because if we don't have civilization, Sam, we have two people hitting each other in the head with rocks.
Good question. They or not even a question. So they will say to you like, how can you support the Second Amendment, but also like be sad about school shootings? How can you fucking preach about the importance of free speech when you celebrate a man who was assassinated for doing exactly that?
Because they only mean theirs.
Exactly.
And that's why the
Yep.
concern trolling, when you spot them concern trolling, don't explain yourself, don't defend anybody, just give them a block, a mute, or a fuck you. We ain't playing your fucking concern game anymore. We've been that's what woke is. Woke is just concern trolling. The whole fucking thing. They concern troll you into being so afraid to have any normal opinion so that they can change the whole culture to make themselves look normal. And guess what? They've been doing it for almost fucking 2 decades now. And do they look normal? No. They have bull rings in their nose and bright colored hair. And the men look like they suck 50 dicks a day.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned Martin Luther King Jr. because I saw a video. It was a black guy sitting in his car, and he said, you know, I hear a lot of people saying, like, why are they so upset about this? Why are they so vocal about this? And he looked right into his phone and he said, because he was their Martin. That's why. Like,
It's the same
Charlie
thing.
Kirk is our Martin Luther King Jr., and he too was assassinated for saying things that people didn't like.
My stepfather,
Message of peace and godliness at that.
Mm-hmm.
my stepfather John, big shout out to him. He's the same age as RFK Jr. He remembers when MLK was shot. He hadn't heard of Charlie Kirk, unfortunately, until just this past few days. But he said that, yeah, this is basically like my generation's equivalent of MLK's.
And the liberals can't see it because all they see is black and white.
Yep.
By the way, he was a former, he was a JFK Democrat, growing up.
Yeah. But these liberals, they can't see anything but the black and the white of the situation, and so they're like, how could you ever see that as the same? But you know, I've already talked to several black guys that have told me, they're like, yeah, this is, to me, this feels a lot like MLK or Martin or Malcolm X, and I'm like, I can't deny it. Feels to me, that does feel a lot like a Malcolm X Martin situation. And you know what scares me about that, Sam, is that Martin was killed first and then Malcolm X. And Malcolm X was the more extreme of the two voices. So I'm worried that this is not going to be the only situation we have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not unless, you know, Trump can do the things that he's saying he wants to do, or even like, you know, the people that were a part of that Discord, that little fucking, you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing nice at all, but that little fucking faggot was a part of that planned this whole thing. They all need to be fucking investigated. They all need to suffer consequences because, I mean, they went on social media. We fucking did it. Okay, so that leads me to think that you had a hand in planning this. There's something you did that helped with this. You need to be investigated.
Well,
which I guess like people already are being. Yeah, we need to make Antifa a fucking terrorist organization. Like, let's do it, fucking Trump. He says if he can do it, he's gonna do it. Like, let's fucking do it. We need to. It's about fucking time. Like, if we can do these fucking things, then like, I mean,
yeah,
maybe, but like, I am at the point, and I hate admitting this, but I know that the part of me that like wants to like push back is stronger. I'm like, even like, I'm scared to let my kid go out of the house. I'm scared to like sitting here right now, kind of scared of the things that I've been saying and am saying right now, because
There was a point where
God damn, I am Charlie Kirk. I'm like more extreme than he was on some things, except for like maybe like abortion and like contraceptive. That's like the only part where I was like, yeah, you're a little strong on that. But mad respect for you being that strong in your faith. Like, that's
Yeah.
awesome. That could be me. And so
Yeah,
it's
well,
scary because I've seen what people are saying. I've already seen the people getting the death threats, and I'm like, my God,
well,
it's really fucking scary for me. And I have
yeah,
some friends
I
that I wish I could explain that to, but I can't because they're unfortunately on the liberal side and they don't get it. And it kind of really hurts not to be able to talk to them about it.
well, I mean, well, I mean, you know, if you're, I mean, if it makes you, I don't know if this is gonna make you feel any better, but like, I was thinking at this, like, I've been, you know, like Charlie and I came up basically during the same era. I recognize that my, you know, I'm nowhere near as famous as Charlie
which is crazy
uh,
because of how handsome
was.
you are. But go ahead.
And that's honestly why
Thank you.
that part
But
of
yeah,
my
I mean,
fear, Sam, is for you. I worry for you, Sam. I'm not gonna lie. Like, because yeah, as much as I went to my husband and was like, what if that was you? What if that was Sam? That would devastate me almost
I'm
as
gonna
much.
tell you this: if anything ever happens to Sam, you better believe I'll never be shut up again.
I have friends who, and I do not mean this as a threat, but I do have friends who are
Well,
who
there's a
are
lot
former
of
military.
people that would protect you with their lives. Actually, I'm one of them.
Yeah, well, and I also have a lot of friends who, God forbid, something were to happen to me, guests on the show who are retired military, they would go,
Yeah, not to
well, they,
mention all the law enforcement we've had on the show. That's the thing. Is like,
Yeah, you would have your own army. You
yeah,
would.
yeah, but it is scary because Charlie knew all kinds of people, you know.
Mhm.
And at the end of the
yeah,
day, yeah, like I do worry for Sam because Sam's been very public with his full name and stuff as long as since he was a teenager. Um,
which,
but at
by
the
the
same
way, I,
time, we used to be able to say, sorry to cut you off, but I used to be able to say, but he's not that extreme, but he's more extreme than Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, and that's
Everybody
yeah,
here is.
that's why a lot of people are saying that now. Like, I am Charlie Kirk because it's either I have the same exact views, conservative, Christian, or like, wow, I'm actually a little bit more extreme than him on some stuff, and they went after him. Like, yeah,
We liked him
it's shook the
because
nation.
see,
Yeah.
me and Shmuley would always talk about we are on the more extreme end, not even in our ideas, but in the things we talk about, the high end philosophy type things and psychology and evolutionary psychology and things like that feed into the meta of how society works, anthropology, things like this. Most people don't care about any of that shit. It goes over their head. And so in that way, we're more extreme, right? But what we actually are is we look at somebody like Charlie Kirk. A normal person can watch his debate, follow along, and understand that, hey, that's basically where I'm at.
Mhm.
They don't need us to
yeah,
talk about the epistemology. They don't need Kurt Doolittle's high end ethics system. That's stuff for us nerds, right? And so we always loved having a Charlie Kirk there for that fucking reason. He was the voice of an entry level of somebody who could come in and say, what even is going on? And you've even seen him in real time with people who come from the other side. And they've said, wait a minute, if what you're saying is true, I have some questions to ask.
Yeah, like I've watched so many like clips and videos of his, and I've even watched clips of the Charlie Kirk show. I mean, I follow it on Twitter. I'm not Twitter, TikTok, and everything. And like you will literally see some people there. They're at the mic and they got their phone out and they're going. And they're like, yeah, but this, and he'll just be like, okay, but here's a fact, here's a statement. Bam, look it up, and they'll be like, no, it's. Oh my god. And it could be whether it's like that Planned Parenthood was actually founded by a racist who wanted to use it to wipe
Yeah.
out the black population, that the KKK was actually founded by the Democratic Party. No, it was not like, oh, the Republican Party. No, the Democratic Party was doing that all along.
The very
he
fine
made-
people hoax.
Yeah, he made everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people that were on the other side or on the fence stop and go, whoa, dude, really? Like, I didn't
And even
know
if
that.
he didn't,
And
he walked away 99% of the times with a handshake and a thank you for coming.
yeah,
On both parties,
And-
not just Charlie.
and I love it because it's absolutely true. If you drop down to, oh my God, why does your face look like that? Like, oh my God, like you can't get pussy. You can't. It's like, he's married. He's got 2 kids. He was not a bad looking dude. You look like a freak. You're decked out in fucking rainbow everything, purple hair. You got the fucking bull nose. We should just hook you up and drag you off. When you go to insults, you've already lost the debate. You got nothing. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can contribute. So you attack, and that is something Charlie always fucking pointed out. They always go for the personal attacks when they know they've lost the debate and they have nothing else to bring.
But what
to
did
the
they
table.
say about me with the straight pride thing? I got people on fucking.
You're an incel.
I'm an incel. Okay, well, tell my wife about my incelness.
I was at home with the kid. That's fine. You go, but you better tell him I like him. And
I did.
you tried to get you tell him, and I like that. You tried to get like a picture or video, but like, yeah, shit was kind of hectic. But it's like, oh well, at least he knows.
I just wanted to say, Maxine, this might be the perfect time, as long as you're going down the Charlie Kirk rabbit hole. And I think knows what I'm about to say, but while you're looking up Charlie Kirk, you might as well look up another gentleman that we both admired by the name of Andrew Breitbart, and watch a lot of his videos too.
Yeah.
Because
And as long as we're shouting out gentlemen, you should look up. Check out this dude. He's awesome. Murdoch.
yeah,
You've been watching a lot of that lately.
I rewatched the whole series.
Yeah.
And they came out of hiding
Mm-hmm.
and passed off a book that he wrote, the main guy. And it's fucking phenomenal. It's absolutely amazing. Anyway, he came after all these years because they ended the show Murdoch a couple years ago, and they just were like, we're going to stay anonymous. We're gone.
Mm-hmm.
We're never coming back. But this dude, shout out to Old Sterling on YouTube, started making videos like, hey, this cartoon was really funny and kind of it had a bit of impact. It's basically
it wasn't bad.
It was basically 4chan the cartoon in a lot of ways. And like it's all about the hero's journey in becoming a man and facing the fact that you become a grown-ass man that's playing video games and there's bigger problems in the world, right? And that's kind of the whole arc of the series. And so he comes out, he sees that this video has gotten real popular, and they sent a message to the guy that made the video, an email, with this book. And they even left a voice to their voices for sure. And so it's them, and it's a book that he wrote, not a fiction book, but about his journey from making Murdoch and like all the stuff that was going on at the time. And man, does it hit home for me because, yeah, that's where I was in the thick of that meme war. And I highly recommend check it out. Ain't charging. It's a book I'm promoting that's completely free. He doesn't want any money because he wants to be anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
Because he comes back, puts his head back up, and then Charlie Kirk, the most milquetoast guy in the world, gets murdered. I don't blame him for wanting to stay anonymous.
Yeah.
Because their stuff is a lot more controversial than that. But
yeah,
I'm glad that he was able to pass us the book because it's it's very short, but it was a good read. And I'm glad to know that they are doing okay. The cast of Murdoch is doing okay.
Good.
Yeah. But anyway, I think that'll do it for tonight's show. We'll be back Wednesday. So thanks to everyone who has tuned in. And until next time, stay frosty. unfortunately keep your head on a swivel, because that's...
Don't do gay pornography. Well, Cantwell needed a reminder.
Almost the entire time, and I didn't hit you, and you had to say that.
He already did it, Max. But anyway, we'll be back Wednesday, and yeah, take care, and we'll talk to you later.
The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Thank you for watching the Whitfield Report live on the Right to Offend Media Network. Make sure to check out Sam's books on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. You can follow Sam on X at SamW_NGC and the Right to Offend Media Network at RTO Media. Like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And until next time, God bless, God save this great nation. God, freedom, legacy, in that order.